Fresco, raise a cheer. Don't forget a shower beer. Check Pabst beard for lost gear. Jackals, Jackals, rolling down the line. 10:45 drop, leaving sleep behind. Jackals, Jackals, fly. Langley twin ranks empty seats, right by the city's biggest end cap. 12 packs of steel buns in your gear. Charter sacks, tailgate nachos if you are in it. Jackals, Jackals, keeping up the flame. Tame Jackals, Jackals, you can't stop the rain.
Jackals TV is back on the air. We had a 1-week hiatus, failing to show the highlights from last week's game against the Hosers, mainly because there wasn't a lot of highlights to show as the Jackals continue their time in a higher division here at the beginning of the year, waiting for the tiering games to play out. So let's go back to that game and we'll see the one goal that the Jackals did score in an 8-1 loss. So let's have a look at it. See the puck down low in behind Trevor. There's Bob going back to get it, wrapping it hard up the wall. And it's going to end up on this Hosers player stick, who turns it over to a spare in this game. David Greshak, playing his first game for the Jackals, comes in on the right side, gets that through the goalie. That was the only goal the Jackals managed to score in an 8-1 loss, a lopsided effort against the Hosers. So we're back on the train here today, and this time the Jackals will be taking on the Black Aces. They're on the left side of the screen in those gray jerseys. That's another team in the higher division that the Jackals played 2 or 3 times the year prior to this. Lost each time in relatively lopsided scores. So we don't expect an ultra close game here today, while the Jackals wait out the string to return to playing teams they would play more frequently. Let's have a look at the roster for the Jackals here today. They're down a few players. Jason, Gary Pabla, Chris Weeger, Chris Stuhar, and John, all missing here from this game. This game happening the day after the Jackals golf tournament, so maybe some folks resting up from that. Also, one other important scratch, Trevor Dixon unable to play this game, and so Al is here as the starting goalie today. A couple other spares in the lineup as well, Brad Haber and Darshan Sadu helping out for all those other players that are not able to play today. So let's head to the first period and see how they do. And as can probably be expected, the Black Aces are going to get the bulk of the chances here early in this game. Here's a chance early. Big slap shot to the glove side, and as Al does, he gets that glove up and makes a nice windmill save. And then there's going to be a puck down low behind the net that gets misplayed and put up front. And they try to go 5-hole, but Al gets down to kick that one out as well. The pressure continues, and this time they get a turnover because of it. Weakly throw to the puck to the front, and it gets tied up into Bob's legs, and that player in front spins around and jams it home past Al, and the Aces have an early lead in this game, 1-0. Here we see the Aces with more pressure, and this time Chris Marshall is going to come out of the point, make a big block there, and then he's going to race down the ice on the right side, looking to come in, gets the shot off up high, but the goalie pinches it into his gear. The Jackals finally are on the board with a shot. Black Aces now coming back the other way, and this time the post helps out Al as it gets by his glove, a strange occurrence, but this time the post is there to kick that puck back out again. The onslaught continues though, and this time with a little drop pass, the slap shot's going to go blocker side rather than glove side, and it's going to slip by Al, playing this game with an injured blocker hand, so that probably had a contributing factor on that puck slipping through on the blocker side. But it's now 2-0 for the Aces, and here they come again. Puck gets thrown in front, whacked at a big save there, and looking for the rebound off to the side, but Al's got the bottom of the net covered. Here's a breakaway attempt, and Rob is going to hook that player down. Maybe could have been a penalty shot, but I guess the referee decided that player wasn't clear-cut enough of a breakaway, so it's just a power play for the Aces. Good sweeping chance there from the side, but Al makes a save, and the Jackals kill the penalty. So now we're late here in the first period. Brad trying to cut through to the front of the net, getting tied up there, and then the puck's going to get pushed down the left side in behind Brad, and that player goes high over the glove of Al. And late in the third period, it's now 3-0 for the Aces as we head to the second. The Jackals with some rare offensive zone time to start the second period as well. They're battling hard behind the net for the puck, and eventually Daryl's going to end up with it. As he walks out front, he sees David Atkinson right in front, gets him on the tape with that pass. David tries to go 5-hole, but the Aces goalie makes a save. So now the Aces coming back the other way. That player's going to go hard around Bruce there, but challenging him is Al, and he makes the save. More pressure from the Black Aces as Brad is under attack behind the net. And this puck eventually is going to end up there in Al's feet. And that player tries to sweep it past on the blocker side, but Al gets the stick flat there and makes a save. And then eventually ends up on this player's stick who tries to go high glove. And Al with the patented windmill glove save. Another chance here for the Jackals, and again it's Darryl. He sees Darwin over there, and just as the pass comes through, the defender lifts his stick right at the last second. So here's a one face-off. Goes back to Bruce, and he's got space there on the glove side. Nice wrist shot there by Bruce, but saved by the goalie. More opportunities here from the Jackals. Shot right in front. Jeremy stopped it and then sweeps it with the backhand. And that is a save is made. And then Bruce is down pinching low along the wall. And that's going to end up turning into a 2-on-1 the other way. This player is going to walk in and then pass it across for the easy tap in on the back door. And a good bunch of chances by the Jackals at one end turn into a 2-on-1 the other way and a 4-0 lead for the Black Aces. And it's been a few seconds since we've seen a glove save from Al. So let's see another one here. Coming down the right side. He gets it, a piece of it, and it pops up in the air and luckily does not fall into the back of the net. Here's Bob battling for a puck along the wall. Eventually it's going to go off his foot to the other way, and a one-on-one chance for that player, and he tries to go high glove. You'd think they'd learn. Another save with the glove for Al. Jackals under attack. Bruce tries to put this out to the point. It gets kept in, so it gets bumped down below behind the net, and it's eventually going to end up on this player's stick. Kick save there, then a rebound, and another big glove save off that rebound. Al's got that glove working. Let's have a look at there. Off the rebound, nothing but net, but he reaches down, picks the puck out of the air, and holds on to it. Then we see Black Aces chasing the puck in the corner. You see Bruce hard charging in there. Looked like maybe he would take a body checking penalty, but instead he holds up, but then he gets the stick into that player's feet. So it's a penalty for Bruce tripping. Power play here for the Aces, and that player comes right off the dot and walks in front and has lots of net there, but misses the net, maybe intimidated by all those glove saves that Al has been making. Power play does continue though. There's a point shot that bounces right to a player all alone off to the side who squeaks it past the blocker and the post, and so it's 5-0 heading to the third. And as we watch the opening faceoff, watch that Aces player spin around and stick his butt into Rob off the draw and fish for the puck at his feet, and then as he's playing the puck, the butt end of his stick goes up and under the visor of Rob and catches him in the eyeball, actually cutting his eyelid open, causing him to bleed there. So an ugly incident, but Rob was able to come back after getting repaired and play the rest of this game. Here's another shot by the Aces. Big rebound that's up in the air. That player tries to get it out front, but Al covers it up and gets a whistle. Now we see Brad with the puck behind the net, and he sees Lloyd up there, tries to hit him with that breakaway pass. It gets deflected, so Lloyd's chasing it down to the corner, trying to throw it out front to Rob. That gets blocked. Puck does eventually come out front to Chris Marshall, and that also gets blocked, but it goes right back to Brad, who's now up into play, bobbles it a bit, finally gets it on the forehand, and slides it through the goalie. And halfway through the third period, the Jackals are finally on the board here. It's now a 5-1 game. Now remember that opening face-off between Rob and number 17 at the beginning of this period. Here's number 17 coming down the right side. Rob chasing after him. After getting stitched up, tries to get him from behind. Then that player comes back at him and pancakes him down into the ice. The referee is going to let Rob's initial infraction go and just send 17 to the box as he complains about it the entire way there. So Jackals to the power play, looking to narrow this lead a little bit long, and here comes Darryl right up the gut through the defender and then tries to go around the goalie on the backhand there. But the goalie does make the save and keep it out, so the penalty does expire. So Jackals are unsuccessful. Here comes Brad again right up the gut, just like Darryl did. This time he's going to go to the left though, hold on to that puck, throw it on net there, and then it goes in behind the net. Eventually comes out here to David Atkinson, who whips around Brad, passes it in the middle to Jer, who throws it towards the net, and Silky Mitts displays those Silky Mitts. Darshan deflects it kind of on the forehand up past the goalie into the net under his arm there. And the Jackals are on the board 5-2 here with just a minute or two left in this game. One more opportunity here by the Black Aces that Al sticks that injured arm out there to make a big save. So the game does end 5-2. So So this ends with a not such a lopsided score, 5-2, but you'll see here from the shots, it was 42-13, I believe, for the Black Aces. We see Brad and Darshan with the goals for the team, and an excellent outing in net. Let's see what that does to the overall stats now on the season. See Gary Padla still up at the top of the table, even with 1 game, 3 points in that game. So let's have a look as the teams come together for the handshake. Let's have a look at what the schedule did last week. There you see that loss there, 5-2 to the Aces, and the Thrashers continue to lose. Hosers winning another game against the Voodoo, so they remain undefeated. Let's watch the end of this handshake line. Watch Rob there, just off the end of the screen. There's him shaking hands with number 17 after that contentious game, and 17 continues to cry like a baby about some of the activities that happened, like just shake the hands and get off the ice. But either way, let's have a look at the upcoming schedule. As you see, 2 games have already been played in the following week's games here. And the Jackals, once again, will be playing the Black Aces. There you see 17 coming back against Rob, continuing to whine and complain about the plays that had happened, even though he was the one that had butt-ended Rob in the head. So these 2 teams will meet again Monday night. We'll see if those 2 players, Rob is going to be scheduled to play. We'll see if they have 17 in the lineup, and we'll see how that goes. Let's have a quick look at the standings here now. We see the Jackals falling down, 1-2 record now, and another game against the Black Aces coming up next Monday. So the league has promised to look at re-tiering in the next week or 2, but the Jackals might have to play a couple more games in this division. And when they do that, we'll be there to document it. See you then.